Talking with NoMo. Talking with NoMo. Step in the room, let's go. Got that spark, got that flow. Quick hit talk, real talk. Every word on the mark. Lean close, hear that name every time. Bring the flame, one more round. Let it show. Talking with NoMo.
All right, welcome everybody. Another episode of Talking with NoMo. Our guest today is a candidate. Wait, hang on. Are we there? Yep, approve it. There we go. Our guest today is Miss Jackie Clarke. Jackie Clarke is running for the school board, former Indiantown Village Council member, and all around out there in the public kind of person. So, Jackie, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Eric.
You're more than welcome, and thank you for putting yourself out there and running for office. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about why are you running for school board and not doing like Anthony and Janet are doing and running for the council again back here in Village? What prompted the
No,
change?
seriously, I'm a faith person, so there was a dream, a vision. I didn't tell me what race it was, so I just like, are you talking to me? I seriously asked God, was he talking to me? And then he confirmed it probably a couple weeks later, and then that was the deciding factor. And then I went and took the update training at the supervisor of election office, and interviewing the teachers, parents alike. And I just want to make sure that our district, I'll be representing everybody, but definitely the Indiantown and the Hope Sound area. I just want to see what I can do to come in there because I know this county could do better, but help the teachers. They want to be heard. They need to be valued and they need the freedom to teach. Parents need to be educated, and that's a pet peeve of mine. And I'm already talking to parents here who have young kids. I could be your voice, but I need you all to put some skin in the game. So I need for you all to get together a group of parents so that we can come together and then I can, help navigate y'all and how you can go and speak up for your children and the rights that you have as being a parent with your children in the school district.
Well,
And,
that's a great idea. I think there needs to be more advocacy like that. I see it all the time within the municipal governments, like here in the village and at the county level, that people really don't understand, one, the process, or two, what ability and rights they actually have. And the citizenry is supposed to be the balancing arm on all of this. So I applaud you for advocacy. What kind of things are you looking to put out there for them?
well, first of all, for parents, the kids who have the IEPs and the 504s, they need extra help and special needs children. Some of these parents don't really have an understanding of their rights when it comes to those programs that the children are on. Now, the school gets money for every kid that's on an IEP. You understand? But by law, if the parents knew their right and they feel that their child is not getting, the education that they need or the services, they could really make us think about it because that IEP and 504 is that plan is connected to what the school must mandate to make sure that that child needs are getting met. So it's stuff like that that parents don't know. So I have a grandson that's on the spectrum, and trust me, we're learning a lot. But I also have other family members who have their children on it. Now it's not necessarily say for kids with behavior problems or they slow, but Eric, all children don't learn the same, right?
Hmm.
So some children might need some extra time, and that 504 plan could help if that parent knew. A lot of stuff start at home, so I just want to be advocating and just get a strong parent group. But a lot of, if they knew that you could get it for your kid, he might need an extra 10 or 15 minutes to do a subject where you and I might can do it, at the time is allotted that they have. So it's just these kind of things that I want to be a part of to educate. Win or lose, I'm going to be on an education spree to help parents know their rights, while their children are in school.
Well, that's fantastic. Do you think that there's any kind of a diminishment of these types of services now? Are they being attended to properly?
Well, some parents are and some not. Like I say, if if kids don't speak English, they're going to go on the IE plan. That doesn't mean they're not smart, but these are the categories where kids get put in. Now, some parents I talked to, one lady, I asked her, why you took your kid. She said he has dyslexia. So she said the school was not doing nothing to help him, so she took him out. He was like 4 years ago.
Hmm.
Now I think he's going to be going to sixth grade. He wants to go back into the public school. So I said, well, mom, you're the parent, so you really have the power. So now if Johnny wants to go, Johnny would be my analogy when I'm talking about students. If Johnny wants to go back to the public school, because you're the parent, you're the one in control. So won't you just give Johnny an opportunity, to see, if he can go back into the public school system and they will be able to help meet his needs. But if not, all you could do is tell Johnny, mom tried, but I got to take you back out.
Hmm.
Those kind of things. And we have a lot of parents who homeschool their kids at home, and my opponent, her kids go to charter schools or homeschool. Her kids are not in the public school system. And I'm not saying that, you have to have that, but how are you going to be on a board if you don't even want your child to be in a place where you want to serve? Am I
That's
making
interesting.
sense? I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting. I did not realize that myself. That's very interesting. Yeah, crazy. What do you make about the campus out here where the school district wants to combine both schools into one?
That's not a good idea. Now, my take on that is some places are doing it. My field, any in town. Now, I'm born and raised here. Remember, we always be the black sheep of the family because everything happens to us first, okay, and then everybody else. We only have one elementary school. We only have one middle school. I want to get on there. We need to tear this thing up. Look at the financials. So, from my understanding, I can't make this up now. I'm just telling you what teachers are saying. So teachers are getting pressured to get the parents to go along to say it's okay to merge these two schools. That's
Hmm.
not fair to them. And I love Mr. Raymond. They brought Mr. Raymond out here. I went to the last meeting that they had out here. Um, and they brought Mr. Raymond out here, to be the conduit because everybody loved Mr. Raymond. I mean, Mr. Raymond, I loved him too because my kids went there when he was there. He was a great principal and assistant principal. But that's to me, I just can't see that happening. I just want to know the rationale behind it because the whole school is brand new, Eric, except the administration part where the parents drop the kids off with the cars. And if the classrooms are, I think this might be like a U shape. I came through that the other day, but that is the only portion of the school that needs to be redone. Everything else is new. So when Mr. Maine was out there, oh, I got $32 million allocated to put Warfield over here by the middle school. Really? But you can't fix that front area. That's the only area you need fixing. Everything else is brand new. So I'm just, why do they have money to waste after money? I'm trying to understand this. So yeah, that's one of the reasons, why. Also, bus drivers need help, janitors need help. I mean, the people, the summertime come, kids are not at the school, right? So won't you give these people, if you can't pay them, give them a perk in the package. So they said they would like to work 10-hour days, 4 days a week so they can have Friday off and Saturday, but definitely Friday to do your business. Listen, I work 5 days a week at the state and I have to take some days off because I don't have enough time when I get off from work to go run these errands. But, let's just make it fair. I ain't saying everything gonna be perfect, but you got to make it fair. Teachers, they need a benefit package. I was almost floored. Some of them pay $700 a month for a family plan. Some paying $1,000 a month for a family plan. Come on, Eric. There's 67 counties in this school. If this board want to think outside the box, you don't want to go, do your due diligence, go around to some other schools and see what package they got. And if you all can piggyback or partner together, then you can bring the cost down for your staff, for the
Yeah.
teachers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's some insight. I'll tell you, we do learn out here in Indiantown how to do more with less. I think is what you're trying to say, and we could use some of that mentality within government at all scales. The middle school situation is interesting and intriguing to me, especially when you start tying it into the whole data center conversation that's going on. And the one that has been given green light approval at this point is the Tesoro Groves with FP&L. And the school will be right around 2 miles from there. And then the other four data centers are they're already on the books. They'll be anywhere from three again to 2 to 2.5 miles away from the school. So you have a concentrated effect from these data centers that will be on that school day in and day out. Um, I mean, at this point, I'm looking for people that are going to say, "Yeah, I'm gonna help you look at that because we have to figure out how we can mitigate the damages and potential harm to the teachers and to the students." Have you looked at this at all? Do you have a
I
feel?
have looked at some of it, but as a person, I'm speaking for a resident right now, we're
Hmm.
gonna have to build a coalition and join forces if this, you know, continue to move forward because we got to protect us that's here, but also these children. So now you're gonna put everybody on that side. I just want to know what they're gonna do with Warfield. Why are we so eager to get rid of Warfield? That's my biggest question gonna be when I get on the board.
There you go.
The good Lord get help me get elected. Yeah, I want to know. I need to see what is what. How did we get to this point and why?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I don't know either. I haven't even really heard any if you will, grapevine rumors or anything that indicate what the motivation is for it. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, if
Well,
it's
he
if it's budgetary, we need to look at, maybe cutting some spending elsewhere if we need new facilities.
And that's exactly what's my thought. But Eric, Warfield, all the Warfield is new except that front part. I don't care what Mr. Main say. It's not gonna take you no $32 million to knock down that front portion and that little loop right in there. But you got 32 million to go put in a new bill. He said it. I'm trying to
Hmm.
make it make sense. No, they got to do a lot of cutting. They need to go through the roll call. You know, they done pop here, what they done cut the bus route out. So now you know our bus drivers. My mom drove bus for 36 years, her and her sisters. So now they had a little hub out there by the Y. So now that's closed. But you know, they play these games. Now these drivers got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, go to Stewart, and come back to Indian Town with the bus to pick up the children. Make it make sense.
Hmm. Hmm. What do you think they want to do with the property?
Well, they did. The question was asked at one of our forums, and you know, Warfield came up again because I said it. But everybody got up there who's current on the board. No, we're not. We want to sell property that the county is not using, right? So Warfield is something that's already in play and is used. So no, we don't want we don't mess with standing stuff that's there. So you know, this was recorded when I think we went to the first one at the Chambers in Oak Sound. So they don't want to sell. They're willing to sell vacant property. Okay, that's what they said. Those board members that are on there now, who is running for reelection, they are willing to look and sell property that's vacant. So Warfield isn't vacant. So why are we so rushed to tear this down and put everybody over there? But
It,
like I said, I can't make this up.
it would be
Talking to
vacant
parents.
then.
No, exactly. So it's not vacant now. So why we in a rush to get it over there? And yeah, teachers are being pressured to ask parents to go along with this. They don't just overstep their boundaries. So this is why I want to help build this parent coalition out here, if so they can really understand what it is that's going on and know your rights. Because I can help you, but you got to have some skin in the game too. You see what I'm saying? Everybody plays a part. You know, when we're in this community together, you know, some of us know a little more, some of us don't. But at the end of the day, we can come as a collective to keep our peace and we want to have a good life out here too, which we
Hmm.
know, you know, with the incorporation, this was the best place for expansion in Martin County. But there again, if you don't have the right people on the diocese, then granted, you know, we made some mistakes. I don't think we did bad. If I want to take back anything, was probably the fire thing to get there. But everything else, we went to different cities, we learned and whatnot, and we knew this was gonna happen. You know, you separated from the county, but we got back in bed with the county. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's money. That's where the sense is.
Mm.
I mean, I have my own opinions on that, but this is your interview, so I'm going to keep them out of it. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not happy with the way things are going right now myself. I thought that, like you said, you guys set the wheels in motion in a good way in that the light industrial out here now, my understanding is the majority of that property has been sold. 30 to 40% of it's been developed. And it doesn't affect us nearly at all. You can't tell that those businesses are out there on the edge of town. You can't tell that the lights there at night. And then all of a sudden they want to bring these huge 2.5, 3 million square feet buildings and data centers in here. It was like boom. What happened to these people? I don't understand.
There's a due process. I mean, how they send you notices when something's going to come right across the street from you. But this is the people being. You got to be diligent. You got to know how to research and listen. I don't know everybody resident I talked to didn't know that this happened until somebody else brought it to light on Facebook. So
Yeah.
how is you running something and people don't know what's going on? But that's another story in itself. And like I said with the school board, I want some answers on why. I want the why. I want the why and why we want to get rid of Warfield or move them over there.
Do
They
you
can't
think
get them money.
No, well, I know there's got to be something else to that. That property is very valuable with its position right now, but it doesn't make sense to do it the way they're doing it. It really doesn't. Because when you think about the development that's already been approved out here between Garcia Group, River Oaks, there's 4.5 million square feet of build out that's been approved. It doesn't make sense to combine a school that you might have to take apart again with this kind of growth that's going on. It just
Absolutely. I'm just like I said. The good Lord's will. I get in there. I need. It's gonna be line by line, precept by precept. I need to know. I need to know the why.
Well,
I really.
either way, I hope you put your teeth in it and stick with it on this. I'm sure that there's some kind of a citizen review committee that'll have to be put together somewhere along the line for this, or should be. And I hope you'll involve yourself in it because I need a bulldog on there.
Well, most definitely. Listen, like I said, I live here, I worship here, I play here. I love my neighbors. We might not always see eye to eye. I mean, to agree on something, but to disagree. But at the end of the day, it's Indian town for life for me. And I done seen the changes over the years. And
Yeah.
the school system could do better with these teachers, young teachers retiring because they tired of it. A lot of people retire because they tired of it. And the schools
Yeah.
spend a lot of money going against the teachers when the union is fighting for them. I found some stuff out when I was interviewing these teachers. Well, they can invite to interview me because I want to know what it is I could do to help them if I get elected. That's the kind of board member I want to be. I want to go to the schools. What can I do to help you? What do how can we make this better? Are we going to, be able to get you everything? No, but teachers are the front line, Eric. They are the front line for these
Mhm.
students. I can remember my teachers, all of them, especially first grade and kindergarten. Miss Miller and Miss Sigler listed here. If you came to school, your hair wasn't combed, they had a comb and a brush. If you came in there, your eyes was crusted, they had to wash the rag and the soap to clean your face up and to brush your teeth. These are the teachers I had. Okay, Miss Rogers is still here in Indiantown. Her name is Johns now, but she was my fourth grade teacher and my children's and my siblings
Wow.
uh fourth grade teacher, and she is still here. No, they could do better. These teachers are getting pressured. They say they can't teach. They don't have the freedom to teach. We have the PD department, the personal development department with the district. That's the biggest department in the whole district, and their job is to go around and watch the teachers teach. And some of these board members, like I said, I'm just interviewing people that got people fired. That's not my job. I want to know what I could do. How can we help you and what can we do to make it better?
Wait a minute, back that up for me a second. You said that there is a whole department within the district
History.
that
Yep.
is nothing but a group of people that watch teachers teach.
It's called personal development. They can walk in the room anytime. Yep. And watch the teacher teach.
And
Nah,
then what do they do after they watch?
Well, they probably go back and report whatever, or how probably how you could do this better or whatever. Like I said, I'm interviewing teachers, and this is what I'm being told. But the lady from the union did say that the PD department, press called personal development, they are the biggest department in the district. So of course, they done cut some administrative positions out. Miss Miller retired; she was a deputy superintendent, so it's not going to be deputy superintendent anymore. It's going to be executive. Administrative assistant, something like that, or executive. He changing the name. So we done cut, you cut these positions. They just cut money from the bus route. And I want to know where this money gonna go. But in the beginning, what are y'all doing with the budget that you had, Karen? And I'm disappointed, seriously, in that board. You had Dr. Malay. Degrees don't make people, Eric, but if that's your choice, fine. I'm none against. I got people in my family with all sorts of degrees. But I'm a principled person. You had Dr. Malay there. You paid him $175,000. You get Mr. Main there. I don't know what Mr. Main. I'm pretty sure he might have masters or something. You get Mr. Main there. He was at 225. Now he at 269. You pay for Mr. Main to move into Martin County. Mr. Main don't live in Martin County. Mr. Main live in St. Lucie County. Make it make sense.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Jackie, look, I'm with you. And I don't know if these things are one way or the other from what you're saying, and I have no
No, like I
reason to,
said,
but
I'm
I
just
have no
interviewing
reason
the
to,
people.
but I know I have no reason to believe that they're not, and I don't have a reason to believe that you're making things up. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is I see these types of things over and over and over and over again. And what I mean by these types of things, it's on its own, when you stand it on its own and you say that to somebody, they're like, yeah, well, okay, that's, I mean, okay, so it's not perfect, but yeah, yeah. But when you start getting all these little obscure, well, that's not right, and that could be done better, and that's not right, and this wasn't done the right way, and you start putting those together, that's what the overall theme comes out to be. It's like you're not reaching for the highest bar.
Exactly.
It's and I'm not saying that the current count or the current board or anybody's not doing anything one way or the other. I'm staying out of this. I'm just
Listen,
saying
like I
that
said,
I'm agreeing with you because I get as frustrated as you are when I start seeing all of these little things add up and then I start looking around and it's like, where are the priorities? If we're not doing our own work to make ourselves better, how are we trying to make our kids better?
absolutely. And like I said it before, the district has an A. You have that A because of who? The teachers and administrators at these schools. They make the board looks good.
Hmm.
Ain't like the board out there doing the work. Okay. Like I said, Martin County might be you might be the highest as a base rate for a teacher, but you're not the highest paying because St. Lucie is because they give their teacher perks. Martin County don't give no perks.
Interesting.
You
Interesting.
know, there was a stipend for anybody who works in Indiantown. Okay, I've known this since I worked at Warfield for 2 years. I was a paraprofessional. Didn't know what the cost of it was, but like I said, I had a meeting with the union people, and they say the school board spent a $500,000. I'm only quoting what they said because I went there and I talked to them. Okay, and they said, I said they spent a what for 26 people not to get $275? Make it make sense. It doesn't matter who works out here. You need to pay the people. The one lady said, hey, ma'am, I had to go to this school for half a day and then I ended up in Indiantown. She said, they didn't pay me for my gas, neither did they give me the stipend. Come on.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of school system we running here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody is in agreement, but for the people that I'm interviewing, listen, these people coming to me with real stories and real problems. That's a problem for a county that has a lot of rich in resources, and you don't want to, treat your teachers right. I got a problem with that.
Hmm.
I got a problem.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. I want to jump back to the buses for a second here. Wasn't there a bus depot out here at one point?
Oh yes, yes. In fact, when my mom started driving years ago, the buses used to park up there. Okay, granted that the where the police pub at right there, and the fire trucks and all that, and
Hmm.
there's probably still room back there because it ain't like we got 56, 80 drivers out here. If you got four or five, maybe at the most. But the point is, yes, they used to be up there. Then they put the pound back there by the YMCA. Then they closed that down. Then when we got on the council, it's not our fight as the municipality, but you want to try to help the people. Then, of course, the last 2 years ago they brought it back. It was an election. Now they done took it back. I don't like to play them games. Listen, I am a servant. I don't have the energy. People can say what they want to say about me. I'm not gonna lift a finger. I don't have the. I want to solve problems. That's why I want to be on the board.
Where do the buses go when they drop the kids off in the morning?
They have to go back to Stewart.
So what happens if we get a wildfire that breaks out here in the
Well,
middle of the day, or we get a data center that the batteries catch on fire 2 miles away and the wind's blowing towards the school and we've got to do a mass evacuation?
Well, like I said, Eric, that's why we need the pound out here. You got to make room for them. That's the problem. You're teeter-totting. Listen, let's do what's right as people, whether you like somebody or not. If you on a board or something, you need to be serving. I'm hoping you want to serve, but we know that's not 100% case with everybody. We no, they would have to go back. These people don't come home now. They leave home 4 o'clock in the morning. Then they have to go back to Stewart, do the run in Indiantown, and then go back to Stewart and come back to pick up the kids.
Are they getting paid for their own personal trip going back and forth? Or do they take the bus that whole way? They drive into Stewart in the
They
morning and
just
then
no when they go in the morning. No, that's not on. That they got to pay for their
they
own
got to
gas,
get there, right? Just like
right? And
anybody
then they
else
go
does. They
right,
pick
and they
up the
got
bus,
pick
they
up the
drive out
bus.
to Indiantown, they pick up the kids, they drive them back to school, and then
But
they
most of them routes might be here. I'm not for sure, but I know some people in Stewart have to come out here as well. But they're gonna do the route out here, and then they go back to the pound. And then I'll ask my aunt to clarify because she was the last one retired.
and then they'd have
And
to drive their car back home.
if they want to come home, if not, you're gonna stay at the pound.
Oh, good Lord.
No, 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 no. Their cars are in Stewart, Eric. Their cars are not out here. But if they wanted to come home, they
No,
would
that's
have
what I'm
to.
saying. Their cars are out
Yes,
here, so they've got to go into Stewart to pick up the bus, come out here, do their routes, drop the kids off, take the bus back to Stewart for the morning drop off. And
right.
then they've got to drive back home, drive back out again to pick up the
Yep,
bus, drive the bus back out here to pick
yep,
up the kids to
yes.
take them back home on the nightly pickup.
Yep, if that's right. If
Oh
they
my
want to
God.
come home after they go back, right, because their cars are at the pound in the morning. But when they do that run and go back to the pound with that bus, you're right. If they want to come back home, yeah, that's on their dime. My aunt used to go to her brother's office and sit down. Who got that kind of gas money?
Well, gas is not going to be getting any cheaper the way things are going in the Strait of Hormuz either. So,
But
um,
But
I,
you're not being considerate. Though every worker is important,
well,
Eric,
yeah,
from the
I agree with you.
janitor
I
to the
agree.
whoever. But that's you're not considerate for you to have them people. The people got children lives at stake. They already getting up going early, and then they got to come back to do their run. Warfield take in at 7:40, and then when they finish, go back to Stewart.
Yeah.
And if they want to come home, they got to use their own. Come on, no. I want to know what y'all trying to do to the people. You ain't thinking about nobody's safety. I have another pet peeve. Small children, three to a bus, yes. Them high school children, how you gonna put three high schoolers to a bus? Like I said, I interviewed some bus drivers. I can't make this up. I'm only saying what I asked the people to confirm because a resident came to me and said, "Did you know that they had three kids to a bus?" I said, "Three kids?" I said, I believe when my mama drove because you got 11 seats, three times 11 is 66. Okay, that's small children. But you can't be South Fork, them big kids should not be no three kids to a bus. That's a safety hazard.
Wow. A lot of stuff going on. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff going on. We're down to about 10 minutes. Let's move on to some of the other areas here that you think are needing to be looked at. What else are you talking about while you're out there? What are you hearing?
Like I said, the retention to retain teachers. Um, money is not everything, Eric, but you remember it's all about relationship with people. If you got a good relationship, there's called the best place of practice to work. Okay, meaning the leader has to set the tone. You got to get the people to buy in. If people know that you're fair, because everybody gonna have their favorites, but if they know you being fair, that's how the coach is with the football team. They gonna fall in line. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's just not happening. Too many people can't be singing the same song. I mean, of course, people need their jobs and whatnot, but at the end of the day, the board job should be there. Yes, we make the policies, but we also need to make sure that these teachers are equipped to what they need to teach these kids, and that budget just need to be going through to cut out what that's not necessary. Period. And
Okay.
private partnerships, and definitely yes, parents have a big stake in their children education, but just because you look like me, Eric, don't mean you for me. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, that whether you black, whether you white, whether you Hispanic, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Just because you look like me don't mean you for me.
Right, right, right. Well, I would hope not. I would think that people would evaluate everybody on the basis of their own merits and not the color of their skin. That's the way we're supposed to do it. So,
No,
we'll,
no, what I meant by analogy, they get like black people can identify with black. It depends, but that I might not identify with every black person. Just because somebody is Hispanic, you don't speak for the whole Hispanic community. That's what I meant by that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I understand. I think that if we all focus on what is best for humankind, we can all communicate with each other really well. It's when we focus,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
outside of that and we open our eyes to that racial difference that we run into problems. Yeah, if you can explain to me why I was born white and you were born black, then you've got more knowledge than I do, sister. All I know is that I'm in the skin I'm in and I'm here for a reason. And it doesn't make me any different than any other human that's out here, other than the fact that my skin is different than yours. So I don't look at skin as a characteristic of a person. It's just I don't do it. So I'm.
Yeah, because all the blood is red. If I was dying and your blood clean, I want your blood to save my life.
You bet you do.
Okay.
I understand. I understand. What do we got to do to get a state championship out of one of these high schools?
It's a good question. I don't know what the athletic directors are looking for in these coaches. I thought we had one, but that young man got another job in Okeechobee. There again, you got to be able to let people, if you're going to hire me, Eric, okay, let me do what you hired me to do. Now, if
Mhm.
I'm straying from what you had hired me to do, but now, do you have as much knowledge as I do about the subject matter, or have you actually walked in my shoes to know? Because if you hired me, let me do my job. But if not, you know, that's I think what a dis the dishaps come in at.
Mm, mm. Well, let's see what we can do to fire these kids up. We've got some really good athletic teams here. I'd love to see them take it to the next level. That's kind
I
of
would I
exciting.
would love it. I would love it too. I would love it because now school of choice changed everything. Jensen Beach is the hot box because you got these parents and Martin County with the basketball. Because I know some of these parents, they bring their children from Fort Pierce over here to Jensen Beach and to Martin County. So that's why their sports are up more than ours. So like I said, if you get the coach there, if you want them to recruit, you got to give them something to work with.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. What do you think about the Guardian program? Are you familiar with it?
I'm not too familiar with that, Eric. Listen, I have a gun of my own. Fortunately, I haven't had to use it. My children say, "Mom, come on now. I need to go to the shooting range." In a school setting, to me, that would, I just can't see that. I just really can't. Now they could spend some money on, what's those things when they go through the scale to be one, but that's that to have teachers oh no, that would be a disaster. In my opinion, waiting to happen. So there again, we got to build these strong partnerships, and we just really got to get parents committed because charity starts at home and spreads abroad, and I always work with my children teacher. Mom, why you giving that lady your phone number? Because me and the teacher got to work together. Something happens, she needs to call me. I don't want her to. I know I'm the mama that she needs to call.
There you go.
If there's a problem, call me.
Agreed. Agreed. All right. Well, we are almost out of time because we use the free version of Zoom, so we're down to the last 2 minutes. You want to say goodbye to everybody and let them
Sure,
give them a
I am
parting? Yeah.
Jackie Clarke. I am Jackie Clarke, long life resident of Martin County, been serving this community for several decades. I'm a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and most of all, I'm a woman of faith. And I'm running to help the teachers, the students, and the parents so we could have productive citizens when they graduate, not just to graduate, because they need to know how to live after they graduate, because all students is not going to go for higher education, and that is okay. But I'm running to help solve problems so we could have citizens that could be productive after they get out, long life out of high school. Strong communities, strong schools.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us. We wish you luck in your race, and I hope that everyone that's listening, if you haven't voted in a long time, get up off your butt and get out there and do it. Find a candidate, participate, and make a difference in your community. Jackie, thank you again, and look forward to seeing the outcome of the. Oh, and by the way, on the 15th, this Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Outpost, we will be reading the results of the questionnaires that you were kind enough to send back into us. So if you'd like to join us out there, we should have a pretty good showing. There'll be a lot of people that you can talk to, and we'll go from there. But that's
What
Sunday
what
at the
time,
Outpost.
Eric? What time is it?
11 a.m. on
Oh,
Saturday at
okay,
the
11 a.m.
Outpost Bar and Grill in Indiantown. That's correct.
Awesome sauce, August the 18th. I will be honored to have your vote.
Roger that. Thank you much. All right, everybody. NoMo out.
Talking with NoMo. Talking with NoMo. Step in the room, let's go. Got that spark, got that flow. Quick hit talk, real talk. Every word on the mark. Lean close, hear that name every time.